Hello, my name is Scott Barnett. I'm the owner of CEN Home Inspections. And if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you are thinking about getting a home inspection, whether you're buying a house or selling a house or just want to see what the condition of your house is. And it is something that I would highly recommend. So I've sold and bought a lot of houses in my day. And before I got into this business, I've had a few home inspections done on some properties that I was selling. And to be honest, when it was going on, I was a little concerned. I wasn't sure what a home inspector would be looking for. I wasn't sure if, what the results of this would be. They were always great experiences. And now that I am a home inspector myself, it is something that I would highly recommend. So I thought I would just do this introductory video and give you an idea of what a home inspector is looking for. So if you're thinking about doing it, you're a little bit informed as to what a home inspection entails. And basically with a home inspection, what a home inspector is going to do is he's going to start on the outside and he's going to look over the property. We're going to walk around the house. We're going to look at drainage issues and make sure that the downspouts are far enough away from the house. Make sure that the water is not draining towards the house. Most problems with water in a basement is because of drainage issues, and these are sometimes pretty easy to fix. So we're going to walk around the house. We'll be looking at those kinds of things. If you have a deck, I'm going to look up under the deck if I can get under the deck and make sure that the deck is attached properly to the house. I'm going to look at the railings and make sure that they're solid, make sure the steps are done correctly, and those kinds of things. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a ladder and I'm going to get up on the roof. If the roof isn't too steep or if it's not raining or snowing, I'm going to walk that roof and look for any defects that I might see, missing shingles, any exposed nail heads, which isn't that big of a deal, but it is something that we would call a defect, and that's a pretty easy fix. If you have a chimney, we're going to look at the flashing and make sure it's flashed properly and those kinds of things, and just the general condition of your roof. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the house, and we're really going to inspect the house from top to bottom. We're going to go up in the attic if it has access, and an attic's not something that most people are going to go up into very often, and so I'm going to be looking for any signs of water penetration and any roof leaks and that kind of thing from under the attic or under the attic roof. Then I'm going to be looking at your insulation. What kind of insulation do you have? Those kinds of things. Look and see, make sure there's no animal intrusions or insect intrusions in the attic, and those types of things. The next thing we're going to do is really we're going to go through the whole house. We're going to look at each and every room in the house, looking at the flooring, look at the ceilings, look at the walls. We're going to spend a lot of time in the bathroom, make sure that the plumbing is correct, make sure that the toilet is bolted correctly to the floor and it's not going to have a leak, those kinds of things. I'm going to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, make sure all your appliances work. And one of the things that a home inspector is going to look for is there's some ways to figure out how old an appliance is. If you're buying a house and it has appliances in it, how old are those appliances? I mean, appliances are going to last forever, and having an age on an appliance when you buy a house gives you an idea of how much longer this appliance probably is going to last before you have to replace it. Also going to be looking for different things in the bathroom, like make sure that the electric is GFCI protected and those kinds of things. Then we're going to go down in the basement and look for foundation issues mostly. Most basement walls have some cracks in them. Most of the times those cracks are not that bad, but sometimes they are, and so this is something that a home inspector is trained to know and to look for and to evaluate those kinds of things. Again, we're looking for, does the basement have a sump pump? Is it working? How is the basement walls put together? Is the plumbing under the upper floor done properly and things like that? And a lot of times in a basement you're going to find things like your furnace would be down there. We'll open up the furnace and make sure that that it is lighting correctly, make sure that the filter is clean. We're going to figure out how old the furnace is to give you an idea of how long that furnace is probably going to last too. We're also going to look at the air conditioning unit and make sure that it works if the weather is warm enough. That's not something you can do in the winter because it's hard on an air conditioner to turn it on if the weather is not warm enough. So those are the kinds of things we're going to look to. We're also going to open up the electrical box and try to take a look in there and make sure that the electric looks like it was done correctly. You know, what kind of electrical box is it? Does the what's the ampage of the electrical box? You know, depending on when your house was built, sometimes some houses were built in the 1970s and they used aluminum wiring. Well, today we consider that a defect because aluminum wiring sometimes has a fire issue with it, something that's kind of scary. So something you want to know if you're going to buy a house, I would think. You know, if you live in an older house, does it have knob and tube wiring, for instance? And that's something that you would probably see in the attic when you're up in there. If it does have a knob and tube wiring system, it is something that would be recommended to get your house rewired because, you know, knob and tube wiring is known to cause fires. So that would be a safety issue. So those are the kinds of things that we're going to be looking for as we go through a house. When I'm done with the inspection, if you're able to be there, I would walk through the house with you again and just point these things out that I see, give you an idea of what all the house has and any defects that I might have found. I'm also going to give you a very professional report within hours, a spectoral report that's going to include probably around 50 pictures of different things that I've seen and any defect or safety issue that I found, what it is, my recommendation for how you could fix it, and those kinds of things. You know, no house is perfect. You're going to have some defects in a house. Even new houses, you can go through and find some defects. The thing is that almost all defects are fixable. So, I would highly recommend you get a home inspection if you're thinking of buying a house or you're thinking of selling a house, or if you just want to know more about your house. And if you decide to do that, I would love to do that for you. I'm a phone call away. All my information is on the webpage. And if you have any other questions, you feel free to call and we can discuss this process even more. Okay, I'll have a great day. And like I said, I would love to get into your house and take a really close look at it. Thank you.